Good morning. This is Grateful Ed. Hope you're having a great day. I want to say hello to everybody and send my love to all. It's a great day to be alive, and I thank God every day that I'm alive after the things that I've gone through in my life. And I want to make a point. This is not about me, but it does give me a chance to make these videos and talk about the things that I've experienced. Not only the past 5 or 6 years, but going back to when I was a child. Um, every day, to the people at a higher level who's given me the benefit of the doubt in order to tell my story and try to bring some balance to a situation that's been way out of balance for too long. I thank you. It means a lot. And also, excuse me, also to anybody who's stood up and spoke their mind or taken some sort of action in order to try to how can I say it, bring justice in the community, wherever your community is, or also to address the generational curses that may have been holding back your family for so long. Also, I salute you. That's a great thing, and it's there may not be a lot of feedback, but the thing about it, from my perspective, is you feel that internally. When you've done the right thing and spoke up for people who may not have a voice. So anyway, today I want to talk about President Trump. Okay. And I want to start off by, this is my thought that I wrote down. When you live in a third world country, okay, and okay, it almost becomes a joke. The government becomes a joke because you know that they're stealing the money and there's a lot of corruption going on. Excuse me. And people, there's a bit of, I'll call it apathy and inertia when it comes to trying to make changes because it's so difficult at every level. Out on the street, and then to get a driver's license, to get a passport, to get a visa, all of these things, different layers of corruption. You can cut through those if you pay them off, and that's commonplace. But you get tired of that because that's not the way, that's not the way it's supposed to be set up. Anyway, the other thing is that in the third world countries, there's a lot of corruption with the law enforcement. Okay. It's like they are, if you want some drugs, you go to the cops because they got the drugs, right? And the other thing is don't call us, okay, unless there's a body, okay, unless someone's been killed. And then who knows, what kind of next level of corruption is with that, okay? So the other thing is you need to be connected in order to get something done and in order to have a status within the community. Okay. Um, my point about all this is we cannot let the United States get to that point. And I turn on the TV and there's so many similarities. Okay. And I'm not saying everybody's wrong. I'm just making a comparison from my experience living in third world countries and what I see our country, the deep state is trying to turn us into. Okay. And I'm saying if it wasn't for President Trump waking us up and, alerting us, showing us to the fact, little by little, of how corrupt these folks are at every level, It's, it's we would be in a world of hurt, in my opinion, without President Trump and our freedom and our democracy. and I believe they saved it for last, okay, when it comes to corruption around the world, okay, and it's been going on for so long, in Europe and South America and Asia, basically all around the world that we're cognizant of. My second point is, where would we be right now without President Trump? And I'm saying it's a godsend to me that I know a lot of people won't like this or, just totally dismiss that. But it doesn't matter at this point because that's the way I feel about it. Okay, it hit me. It's like, where would we be without Trump right? You see the shit show that's going on, and a lot of people call it that, and rightfully so, because there's just so many things that make no sense whatsoever. And it's a tragedy, okay? It's a tragedy. Because again, I believe that there's enough resources around the world. There's enough resources that every man, woman, and child around the world can not just survive but thrive. So they're holding us back. They've been holding us back for forever, and it's time to break those chains and break that down and show them out. But it just hit me. It's like, where would we be without Trump right now? And, no GOP leadership. They just, they're squawking about more wars, or more money for Ukraine, and just a bunch of bullshit. So, that's my point about Trump, and you can think about it. You could totally discard that. But when it comes to, democracy and the Constitution, it's like, where would we be? Okay. Here's an example, and it was on TV. I don't know who said it, but whoever did, they hit the nail on the head, because what right does the DOJ have to go in and try to influence and change a decision? This is on the abortion pill, okay. I'm going to stay away from that because I think it's wrong, all right? But from my experience, it does a lot of damage. It does a lot of damage to the woman and the man, okay. But anyway, there's no right. They have no right to do that. And they're reporting on it like it's commonplace, like it's something that, I think it was CNN, but, that it's a commonplace and a common thing and totally acceptable when it's not. That's why there's a separation of government. At least, okay, when I went to school, we were taught that, okay, and how important that is with your checks and balances, okay, checks and balance. But there's no check and balance here. It's just one pop culture, pulp fiction, bullshit thing that they've sold on the people, in my opinion. So, it's a tragedy, there's a lot of tragedy, so I want to speak carefully on the next couple subjects. But, the people that got killed yesterday in Louisville, I don't even know what the story is. I don't. Again, this is one of those things I'm going to give my opinion on, so, and not get into the weeds, but just, from my perception of what the fake news is reporting. Okay, so I know that there was a briefer in the morning yesterday, and I didn't catch all the first briefing, but I turned on the sound on the TV with the second brief, and immediately the first thing out of his mouth, like the second sentence or so, he went into something like, and I'm paraphrasing, here's another instance of gun violence, okay. And I stopped it right. I'm like, nah, this is part of the fucking setup where people are getting killed and sacrificed for the wrong reason. And again, for you to say that here's another instance of gun violence, it goes back to my setup people, or with the, how can I say it, with the electronic weapons, with the gang stalking, with the hacking and everything, people that are on edge or whatever, that they know that they could be manipulated to drive these things to drive them to go commit murder. Okay, number one. And number two, they're just part of the deep state, and they've been compromised, and it's their time in the musical chairs for them to, how can I say it, tag you're it. You've got to go do this. And some people are just evil, they want to go do that shit. But the fact of the matter is, it separates our, how can I say it? They're trying to distort the reality of what the Second Amendment was made for, okay? And the right to protect our homes and the right to protect our Constitution, okay? So, the other thing I'll say is on this, not Memphis, but Nashville, and I don't know the facts about this either. I'm just going to say, how can if this is true, where the people that were voted out, I don't know their name, but the dudes that were voting out, okay, because they joined in with a demonstration, which to me is a clear conflict of interest, okay, but if they were voted out, get out of here. You went too far. You're not fit for duty in this position. Okay. How can a city council vote them back in? I don't understand that. To me, again, that makes no sense whatsoever. And we get away from the point that, again, people got murdered. Okay, because somebody walked into a Christian school, okay, and murdered people because of grievance, and that wasn't the gun that murdered people. That was the person, and whatever hate or whatever drove them to that murder. Okay, and by all this distortion and manipulation, the story of being voted off, now the story of being reinstated, and the demonstrations and getting people riled up, okay. Young people, that are really, how can I say it? In my opinion, they're misinformed, or they're putting their energy behind a distorted sense of the government and reality. That's my opinion, okay. So we can't lose track of the fact that, that was based on innocent people being murdered, okay, and it was not the guns. Okay. Classified material leaks. Okay. This is, okay, I heard about this. I heard it's out there, out there on Twitter or on the platforms where classified documents are being passed around, okay, and is basically public domain. So, it's, how can I say it? That's, from my perspective and my experience, that's a very, very serious matter. I know people don't take it that way. I've seen, how can I see it? I've seen it on TV where they've captured people taking these classified documents out, going down to FedEx, faxing them to fucking China so they can get a check for like $1,000 or $5,000, something crazy like that. And, we're playing footloose and fancy with documents that, if properly marked and properly classified, are there to protect everybody, So, again, this is another failure on the Biden administration, where they have just, they're not fit for duty, okay? And, I'm saying that luckily and, by God's grace, if you will, that, there are good people who, in every organization, that care about these things and will stand up to defend it however they see fit, okay? But the other thing I'll say is when it comes to balance and balance of justice is, we can't forget about things. The news cycle goes by so fast that tragedies happen and then they get distorted by the media and then people just put it away and forget about the timeline on how things happen. Okay. But, there's a couple things. And number one is with the Biden crime family. Okay, these charges about Hunter Biden's laptop. Okay, I believe that they're going to come to light really soon, and that's going to be very revealing and refreshing for people. Will give us some hope, make sure these things are not buried, and the FBI does not protect the politicians up their chain of command, in the deep state. Okay, and let's see, the other thing, whether you like it or not, I really do feel that, President Trump, the country ran a hell of a lot better under President Trump, and we have more opportunities and, how can I say it, leadership within the world when it comes to balance of power there, as America being the leader of the free world. As it always been, and it's meant to be, and it will be in the future, under President Trump's leadership. So, they've been after him for a long time. They've been on these witch hunts and legal maneuvers, lawsuit after lawsuit, scandal, slander. How can I say it? They spied on his campaign. The Russian hoax, Steele dossier, it's all coming out now. The money that went to funnel that, that's just somebody in a bar. The way I understand it, somebody in a bar talking shit. Hey, how can we set this guy up? Drunk, set up, funded by dark money, or I'll say, PAC money, political slam, political hit job. Steele dossier, Russian hoax, Clinton, and, her witch hunt, total attack on Trump, I'm sure she was brokenhearted when she didn't get the nomination for the Democratic Party and she had to play second fiddle to Obama. But that's what happened, and you see all the chaos that Secretary of State, what she brought to the world. It's a tragedy, But the other thing is, President Trump's been set up on this, how can I say it, this Stormy Daniels scandal, okay? Because, with this prosecutor Bragg, there's no, statute of limitations has run out, and also the federal prosecutors would not prosecute. So those are things to keep in mind about. They're just trying to, there's another crime, but we'll tell you later. We can't tell you now. For me, that's like Adam Schiff, with all it's classified. We have to meet in the skip. That's bullshit, That's bullshit because there's nothing in there. They're just like in my experience, at the program, there's shit going on behind that door where they're scheming and scamming, okay, to do things that they don't want you to know about, okay. But if you knew about it and let everybody know, it would blow the lid off the whole damn thing. So I'm going to leave it there, right? So I want to thank you very much. Have a great day. God bless you. God bless America. And keep on keeping on.